Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking one of India's absolutely most monumental infrastructure stories. Picture this for a second. It's sunrise in Chennai. You've got that golden light hitting the shores of Marina Beach, the city is waking up, and it's just buzzing with energy and potential. But as the sun comes up, so does a massive daily challenge that millions of residents have to face. We're going to explore exactly how Chennai is gearing up to literally build its way out of one of its biggest hurdles, and in the process, how it's preparing for the next 50 years of urban evolution.
Because every single morning, millions of people across Chennai are losing one precious thing that they can never, ever get back: time. If you've ever been stuck in that crawling, endless sea of cars on OMR, or if you found yourself totally trapped in the gridlock at Guinea Junction during peak hours, well, you know the visceral pain of this. An hour-long commute easily stretches into two. Fuel is just wasted, productivity drops off a cliff, and honestly, the sheer frustration can totally drain your energy before you even sit down at your desk. The reality is, the roads just weren't designed to handle this kind of volume.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because rather than just trying to squeeze in yet another flyover or widen roads that literally have zero space left to give, the city has made a massive, bold decision. What if an underground revolution could save it? Right now, beneath those gridlocked roads, one of the most incredible infrastructure projects in the country is quietly taking shape. It's a colossal underground network being built to rescue the city's productivity and finally give millions of people their time back.
Section 1. The Catalyst. A mega investment. We really need to slow down for a second and just look at the staggering scale of the city's ambition here: 63,246 crore. To put that massive number into perspective, that is roughly equivalent to the entire gross domestic product of some small countries. Chennai isn't just trying to slap a Band-Aid on a traffic problem here. They're attempting to completely restructure the city's lifeblood to guarantee its survival and growth for the next half-century. When a city drops this kind of capital, it's making a loud statement. It absolutely refuses to let congestion choke its economic future.
And the physical scope? It totally matches that massive financial scale. We are talking about nearly 119 kilometers of brand new metro lines, 128 new stations, 3 completely new corridors. Just try to paint that visual picture in your mind for a second. Imagine sleek new metro trains crossing these massive new viaducts, stations popping up across all these different neighborhoods, fundamentally reshaping the entire Chennai skyline. Once this thing is fully operational, Chennai is going to have one of the most extensive metro systems in all of India.
Section 2. Mapping the route.
To really get how this works, we have to look at the geographical span of Phase 2. You know, the greatest developed cities in the world, places like Tokyo, London, Singapore, they all share one absolutely crucial strategy. They expand their public transit networks well before the city reaches its absolute breaking point. And Chennai, they are deploying that exact same playbook here. We're looking at connections from Madhavam to Punamali, Lighthouse to Sholinganallur, Sirsiri, and Sipcot. Direct your imagination across those city landmarks. This isn't just a transit route. It's practically a hidden economic engine, tying the entire metropolis together.
Section 3. Transforming the IT corridor.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it shows. If you happen to work in Chennai's booming tech industry, I am speaking directly to you right now. Your daily struggle on those crowded roads, it is incredibly valid. Over the years, sure, road widening and new flyovers helped for a little bit, but the demand from the tech sector just grew way faster than the concrete could even be poured. OMR is home to giants, right? TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, and thousands of employees suffer through that traffic-choked OMR commute every single day. But imagine the future state. You board a train in Madhavaram and you glide all the way to Sipcot completely signal-free. A totally seamless, uninterrupted journey. That contrast is exactly why Corridor 3 is one of the most strategically vital parts of this whole shebang.
Section 4. Corridors of power, manufacturing, and ports.
But, you know, as huge as the IT sector is, this transit network serves far more than just tech. At their core, metro systems don't just move people around. They enable massive, citywide economic growth across every single industry. Chennai is rightfully known as the Detroit of India, right? Well, this metro expansion is going to heavily power major economic hubs: automobile manufacturing, electronics, defense, financial services, and of course massive cargo ports handling millions of tons a year. By drastically improving labor mobility, the metro connects manufacturing belts in places like Sriperumbudur. It makes it so much easier for workers to get to factories and ports, which naturally attracts massive global investment.
Section 5. The Ripple Effect.
And this brilliantly illustrates the secondary economic impacts that completely transform a city's landscape. Specifically, we've got to talk about how metro stations totally reshape urban property markets. The formula is surprisingly simple. Step 1, the metro arrives. Step 2, commuter footfall drastically increases in that neighborhood. Step 3, real estate booms. Residential demand skyrockets simply because people want to live near the stations. Commercial buildings become way more attractive to businesses. Retail pops up everywhere to serve all those new commuters. We've seen this exact same transformation happen in cities like Delhi, Bangalore, and Mumbai, and analysts are saying Chennai is next in line for this major real estate evolution.
Section 6. Underground Engineering and Growth.
Now these projects, they look incredibly sleek and impressive when they're finally finished. But the monumental effort required to construct them, while a bustling metropolis just continues to function right above it, is frankly staggering. We are talking about tunneling directly beneath busy active roads, relocating highly complex underground utilities, acquiring the necessary land, and somehow maintaining the flow of heavy traffic during peak construction. Try to picture the massive tunnel boring machines, these colossal steel worms weighing hundreds of tons, just grinding away deep underground, with thousands of tons of concrete and steel being deployed right beneath active city streets. It's literally a modern engineering marvel that very few people ever get to fully see.
Section 7. A Vision for 2032.
So I want you to project yourself into the near future for a minute. Imagine a Chennai, where the airport, the sprawling IT corridors, and the heavy manufacturing zones are all fully and seamlessly integrated by this network. Chennai in 2032 means shorter commutes, cleaner air, far less congestion, and much, much higher productivity. So the crucial point is, zooming out, this infrastructure is fundamentally about keeping Chennai fiercely competitive. To attract the best global businesses, top-tier talent, and heavy investment, Chennai absolutely has to compete against cities like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Pune. This metro system, that's the weapon keeping Chennai right in the fight.
As the saying goes, infrastructure doesn't just change how cities move, it changes how cities grow. The true success of the Phase 2 project won't just be measured by how many kilometers of track were laid or how many shiny new stations were built. Ultimately, it'll be measured by the precious time saved for millions of daily commuters and the incredible new opportunities unlocked for the people of Tamil Nadu. Which leaves us with a pretty massive question to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. Will Phase 2 finally solve Chennai's traffic? Or, as the city continues its rapid evolution, will it eventually need even more transport infrastructure just to keep up with its own success? It's a fascinating thought about the future of India's megacities. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes on the incredible changes happening right beneath our feet.